Then Majority Report jumped in, and Lance from the Serfs, and all the other little dirtbags jumped in, and they were like, no, Cenk and Anna are turning right. The 13 douchebags are right. We need to protect every trans person should get free surgery. We got. Even in China, even though we have nothing to do with China, we hate them. They're Nazis.
Cenk Uygur went on his nephew Hasan's show and threw some tantrums about who is, the legitimate left, whether or not other left-wing opinion shows are out to get him. He'll never surrender, things like that. It's pretty entertaining. For those of you who can't get home to be with your family this holiday season, maybe this can be a little substitute for you. But, let's watch it together. I'm going to pipe in a couple of thoughts. I think it's pretty entertaining just on its own, and then I want to know what you think in the comments.
So if you're talking about constitutional rights, you fight for trans rights 100%. You're talking about military, you fight 100%. I'd fight on bathrooms. I'd fight on high school. But I draw the line on sports. I draw professional sports. I draw the line on giving free surgeries.
That's the thing.
Then you can defend your position and get back to where the great majority of American people agree with you.
You want to know why there's no reason to draw any of these lines? Because Kamala Harris did actually bring this up, which I thought was especially because she didn't have a clear or consistent position on this at all. It was it was left out there in the dark, but Trump did the same thing as well for undocumented migrants.
Say that. I
know. It's just it's a thing that nobody gives a shit about until people are primed into caring about it. That's my point. It's been happening for a very long time for prisoners that want to get this component of healthcare, and nobody technically gives a shit about it. It's already a incredibly tiny, minuscule, marginal percentage. So it doesn't matter. It ultimately doesn't matter. I'm saying if the Democrats had but it didn't, and I'll get to that in a second. If Democrats had something that they were fighting for, nobody would give a shit about this. That's the point.
Yeah, but
you brought up Bernie Sanders. And you said, healthcare, universal healthcare. Bernie Sanders has also said trans rights are human rights. You know what I mean? It's not
But that's the difference between 2016 and 2020.
It's not like Bernie Sanders. It's not like Bernie Sanders himself is saying trans people, we got to cut them out of this bargain.
Trans people. You guys are just making that up.
No.
But in Haas, when you frame it that way, you get all these crazy
Republicans
people
are
online.
Saying that. Republicans are saying that.
No, I know, but we're not saying that.
No,
you get all these crazy people online who are like, oh my God, if you don't agree to free surgeries for every trans person on planet Earth, you're a fucking Nazi. Well, those people exist, and those people.
Okay.
That is the radical left, and they are stupid, and they do cost us elections.
No, you're hyper focusing, and I've had this conversation privately with you many times over. You are hyper focusing on people that are in your replies on Twitter, and because
so you agree with me, that radical left is bullshit,
all you interact,
stupid dumbasses. Do you agree?
There are a million people that are both in your replies that have also gotten mad at me as well, time and time again, on specific issues, maybe ones that even pertain to trans rights. It literally doesn't matter. People get very passionate, understanding. I'm very understanding.
Shocking agreement. I agree. There's 13 douchebags online. That's what I said from day one.
I know, but why the would you ever hyper focus on people like that?
Look, no. So you might be doing the right thing. Hold on.
You're doing the Bill Maher thing. You're demanding that there needs sisters.
Bullshit.
You're doing the Sister Soldier moment.
No, bullshit.
No, you're trying to.
So the minute we said the most reasonable things on earth, which you now agree with, apparently, then what happened? It wasn't just the 13 douchebags online. And by the way, everybody said, no, those 13 douchebags represent all the left. You're not on the left anymore because the 13 douchebags control the left. And then what happened next? Then Majority Report jumped in, and Lance from the Serfs, and all the other little dirtbags jumped in, and they were like, no, Cenk and Anna are turning right. The 13 douchebags are right. We need to protect every trans person should get free surgery.
We got.
Even in China, even though we have nothing to do with China, we hate them. They're Nazis.
You got to. Okay.
I mean, I'm 100% right. Every dirtbag show did it.
You got to.
Every dirtbag show did it. Tell me I'm wrong.
This is reframing an issue that is now we've moved away from the electoral consequences of a trans ad to your own personal anger and frustration that you have with left-wing media online. We are
so do you agree left-wing media online, those guys that I listed are full of shit?
I have
and in a tiny, stupid minority?
I have disagreements with everyone in this space, but there's a reason why seemingly I don't catch the same amount of strays that you do, because I don't hyper-focus.
I can tell you why.
I don't hyper-focus. What do you think it is?
They think you're hot, young. I don't mean attractive. God bless on that. Okay. I'm also obviously hot. I mean, as in they think, oh, the young people watch Hasan. He's cool.
I love it when older people talk about the young people and what they think.
And you give the thing of like, oh, no, trans people are right on everything, right? You don't come out and make the distinctions that Anna and I made. Okay, so they think, oh, no, he's good. He's extreme as we are. I think he's woke left. Yay, extremeness.
I think the reason, first of all, you're...
Okay, by the way, majority report and all of you guys, you better attack him. He apparently agrees with me. Okay, you better attack him. You're not going to attack him, are you?
You're
Get the fuck out of here.
I think this is one of the real examples I see a lot recently of this sort of infighting on the left since the election. Like we all are starting to turn on each other. You're hyper personalizing this into like criticisms that you've received.
Somebody comes and punches you in the face 12 times, and you go, what? Why are you hyper personalizing it?
Because
just because I called you a Nazi, now it's personal to you.
Because myself, you, Majority Report,
but I never changed my policy. All of
this is inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. And whenever there's like drama, for example, I've been getting attacked mercilessly by my former podcast co-host that has been actively trying to deplatform me for the past 2 months because he thinks that, or he's claiming that I am creating a space that is anti-Semitic. The way I've dealt with that, for the most part, is by just actively ignoring it leading up to the election, because I was like, this is some silly nonsense. And in the aftermath, I covered some of the broader points, and I moved on. If you extend the conflict that way, instead of trying to find a reasonable middle ground, and even show humility in a certain, I don't agree. Even show humility instead of saying I'm right, there's never going to be any sort of real solidarity. Why am I going to show humility to you, a bunch of idiots who are wrong? Because I
like what does humility mean? Like, oh, maybe you're right about your dumb opinion that's going to cost us this election. Okay. Maybe you're right about your dumb opinion that gets the majority of the country to hate us when our economic positions are overwhelmingly popular. Maybe you making us intensely unpopular when we should be focusing on universal health care, higher wages, paid family leave. But you idiots hate policy. All you want is identity politic bullshit, and you think that drives ratings, and you want me to show humility to those morons? None. Zero.
Let's have a meta conversation really quickly about the ways in which branding works online. I am of this mindset that every single person is far too busy and far too self-involved to pay attention to the more nuanced conversations that others are having on any particular issue. This is why, even when there is like a faucet of smears that I am attacked with clips that are completely out of context, I address it and I move on. And I come at this conversation with an understanding that most people are not fully aware of what my analysis is on any particular matter. This has happened in the past with, me purchasing a house where people were made a big deal about it. Like even back then I said, look, people are angry. People are frustrated with their position in society. People are frustrated with a lack of opportunity. And in that process, when they see a rich asshole like myself, buy a house, they're going to get mad at me. And there's a healthy amount of anger towards wealthy people there that I agree with as well. I think that they're misdirecting their anger at the wrong person, but ultimately I move on. If I spend every waking moment covering, the anger that I'm receiving, and if I spend every waking moment covering like things that are out of context, then I'm not going to be able to, I'm just going to be that. I'm going to be the person who is responding to drama all the fucking time when I feel like there are far larger, more consequential issues at play.
Now, let me take the other side on the meta
hyperfixation on not only a very small sliver of society that is, in your honest opinion, has been openly targeted as like the the major reason as to why people are angry, is offering legitimacy to the right-wing position. I think there's a more effective way of communicating that, and it's something that I do on a regular basis, which is, this is a simple distraction. You don't care about this. And the people that do hyperfixate on this are fucking weird and gross. Leave people alone. Let people live. These people are your fucking neighbors, and they and yourself are more aligned on class issues in more meaningful ways than you think. Tim Walz does a fantastic job with this, and Andy Bashar has done a fantastic job with this. They're both very popular governors that you like as well.
But that's literally my position. All right, so listen.
But the reason why people don't think that that's your position is because people see the clips. People see clips out of context.
I know. What do? They see clips on douchebag shows who are purposely misrepresenting our position and pretending that we're against all trans rights. So your position to that is surrender. Okay. And no, I never surrender.
Well, however you feel about it, Cenk, and I think Anna Kasparian too, but Cenk Uygur here is clearly rejecting the idea that he's made any kind of a rightward turn or changed his opinions at all. I mean, he asserts that he's always been a populist, and this idea of a new right-wing populism is nothing new. Just clearly these two get heated, and I think it's kind of entertaining to watch. I don't know how much they actually disagree. I think they're kind of picking nits, but it is interesting to think about the ways in which all of these little outlets on the left and these voices on the left, kind of parse what is true left. And I think the definitions get blurry and muddy. And it's an ongoing thing that I've been thinking about. I want to know what you think in the comments.